grew up a Colts fan, sitting in the section 540 with my dad. So I had a lot of memories about Indianapolis, and it's going to be cool to be able to be on the field. You know what I mean? Like really, as an opposing player, that's kind of crazy. But it's reflecting on that is like how blessed I've been, how good God's been in my life, and you just never know where your journey is going to be. You couldn't have told me when I was 7 years old that I wouldn't be playing in the NFL, and to be able to come back and share that moment with my family and my close friends, that's going to be pretty cool. But you know, at the end of the day, I want to win this game. I want to keep our win streak going. You know what I mean? I think they pose as a really good team. They're really disciplined on defense, and I know you know they have a new quarterback, but he's going to probably give them a lot of energy. So we have to go in there and limit the negative plays and get off to a fast start on the road.
Have you been getting a lot of ticket requests?
You don't even want to know how many, but I think I've tried to do a good job. Seeing that game on the schedule early kind of allowed me to get ahead of things. So this week is not going to be too stressful on the ticket side.
Back-to-back wins now. What's the feeling like in this locker room?
You can definitely feel you know, guys are feeling good about where we're at. Just getting those 2 wins under our belt. The way we finished this past week was huge, especially coming off of, you know, kind of an ugly win against Chicago, but to be able to kind of put 4 quarters together where all 3 phases worked collectively to get the win was really big for us. So, you know, that game's over, and we're just looking to see how we could get better for this weekend and try to keep the streak going.
Do you remember when the first time you played there was? Was it high school?
Yeah. It was probably a regular season game. I think maybe against Ben Davis High School was probably the first time I ever played in that stadium. So, you know, I got to watch a lot of cool things happen there and in the RCA Dome. So, you know, I'm Indianapolis through and through, but it's going to be fun to be on the other side and competing.
Terry, is this a chance to almost like reflect on how far you've come from that point? Because you had to earn that scholarship, you had to earn this contract. You know, is it time to reflect at all for you?
Yeah, I think I've done a lot of the reflecting up until this point. I don't want to take this part of, you know, me going back to Indianapolis, I don't want that to take away from the mission of going here and trying to get this win for our team, doing whatever I can to help us, put us in a position to be successful. Going against some really good DBs and Stephon Gilmore, Kenny Moore in the slot. So they're a really strong defense. I hear they're getting Darius Leonard back, and, you know, he's like the linchpin for them. So, you know, my focus is definitely on this game, but I definitely have had time up until this point, sometimes when I have a little downtime, just to think how far guys brought me, and to be on this side of it, it's kind of cool.
You also talked about the trust that Taylor placed in you the other day.
Yeah.
When you went back and looked at that play,
yeah,
was it even more trust than you realized?
On the game-winning play,
yeah.
He threw that ball with a lot of trust, and as a receiver, that's all you can ask for from your quarterback. And I think I just want to continue to gain his trust and know that I'm gonna come through for him when needed. And I think that's what it's about. I think that's what, as a leader, I try to preach to the rest of our playmakers is, you know, whether it's Carson in there, Taylor, or even Sam was in there. I think we also we control a big part of the energy of the offense and a lot of the momentum. And when we can make those tough plays, those 50-50 balls, I think it gives a lot of momentum to our offense and a lot of confidence to our quarterback. So, you know, with the game on the line, I think any receiver who wants to be a great receiver in this league wants those opportunities. And when you come through and make a play like that for your team, you know, it's a great feeling. So it was a good feeling.
Terry, you talked last week before going into the game about the energy that Taylor brings. That continued on Sunday. What qualities is it about him that allows him to do that, to bring it out?
I mean, I think when you start the game kind of how we did, with some turnovers, with some negative plays, and just as bad as of a start as we could have had in that game, a lot of guys in that situation, the quarterback position, they kind of hang their head, or they just dwell on those tough moments and not realize we have a whole 2 or 3 other quarters to go. I think with Taylor, the one thing about him, he has such a short memory. Like I said it on Sunday, like he plays like every game like it's his last. He plays like he has nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I think that's a fine line, because somebody could be reckless, but I think he's done a great job of taking the plays that are presented to him and capitalizing on one-on-one matchups that we may have to get our skilled players a chance to make plays. So So, it's really fun playing with a guy like that who's going to fight for every yard, fight for every opportunity that he gets. And I think that's infectious.
Who targets you more than kind of the other quarterbacks that you've played with?
Yeah. To be honest, like, really, I hope I get as many targets as I can from every quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, but I think, the benefit him and I have, we've had more reps than some of the other quarterbacks that I've had the pleasure to play with. And like I said, building that camaraderie, building that rapport takes time. It takes reps. It takes game-winning situations like that on 3rd and 9. You have to get the plays, and you make it. I think it's hard to just have that when you have any quarterback, and it takes time to really to garner and to create that kind of relationship. And I think we have that from that competitiveness. I think we have that from just the trust and the reps that we put in the off season and up until this point. And I think that's my sole focus on any quarterback I've ever played with, is just to put them in a position where they can trust me that I'm gonna get the job done for them.
When did it get on your radar that you're going to be able to play at Indy in your NFL career? Is that something that just happened this year or earlier?
To be honest, it's something I always wanted to have the opportunity to do. We don't really play that division a lot, so seeing the schedule this year and then seeing, that's the Indy game and it's away, like, I think that was a pretty cool moment. And then my next thought was like, I gotta start getting on these tickets right now because I already know it's gonna be crazy. But I think honestly, like, that's the fun part about it. I get to share this moment with some of the people that helped me get to where I'm at today. And for me, I don't really try to make the moment too big than it is. It's cool. I can be honest and say that's cool. But like at the end of the day, like, it's not cool if you lose. You know what I mean? It's not cool if you go out there and you're so focused on the extracurricular that you don't get your job done. And I think as a leader and as the player I want to be, I always want to keep the main thing the main thing.
Did you think you were going to be drafted by them at all?
I thought there was a chance, definitely during that time, but when I saw Paris Campbell drafted to them, we were roommates. Me, him, and Curtis were roommates. So seeing his dream come true was really cool, honestly, and he deserved that moment. And I know at the end of the day, like, God was going to place me in a position where I needed to be, where my journey was going to start. And the opportunity presented itself to where I was going to get drafted here, and I had the opportunity to come here and earn my spot really early. And so, I'm not regretful or sad about any way how things went, because I feel like I'm in the right place where I need to be.
How many people are you coaches? Yeah, former coaches, former teammates there.
I don't know if any of my former coaches will make it, but I've had a few like teammates and stuff hit me up, say they're going to get tickets to the game, come check me out. Actually, I think my old receiver coach from high school, his son and him are going to be at the game. So I'm sure I'll see some familiar faces out there. It's going to be a cool moment.
Thanks, Terry.